and welcome to episode 80 of the Nonsense Review. I am your host as always, Devon, and joining me equally as always is Rick.
Hello everybody.
Last week, if you recall, we watched the dumpster fire that was Farzagars. I can't remember the name, but it was something like that.
Yeah, it was it was Brickleberry 3.
Oh jeez. We didn't have a fun time, and I don't think anyone actually watched the YouTube video, which is telling. So today, to make that up a little bit, we thought we'd go with a bit more of a classic cartoon in the form of
Dexter's Lab!
Yes. But before that, fans of the podcast are probably already aware, but for those of you who are new, what we like to do is briefly talk about our weeks and the goings-on in the wide world. So to that end, Rick, how's your week been, buddy?
Long-time viewers may have known that me and my folks have been watching The Owl House. I suckered them into it, and they have been sucked into the world of the Boiling Isles. We have finished season 1,
Yay.
So we're pretty much halfway through the currently available things.
Disney Plus still hasn't got the last 5 episodes, I think.
No, they don't. They stop at episode 15. We actually have gotten to the hiatus in season 2 as well, but a season 1 finish is also, a big stopping point. So yeah, we've had Enchanting Grom Fright, we've had the actual finale, and yeah, since we got to the hiatus, we've even had Yesterday's Lie, and they both enjoy it. Both of them have Luce as their favourite character, and, even from shows that I like, I can list so many where I've watched a good show and the main character is nobody's favourite. It's so telling that Luce is such a lovable character that both of my folks list her as their favourite.
Yeah, I mean, at the top of my head, I can think of Boon Choi from Amphibia, and
yeah,
it's weird, isn't it? Because I like She-Ra, but at the same time, the villains are a little bit more interesting than the heroes in that.
Yeah, Katra's journey is more interesting. Her journey from villain to more villain to finally being accepted is a lot more entertaining than watching Adora basically be a flat character, which is not a bad thing. She has her character development in episode 1, and then everything else is just becoming a better version of this character that was at the end of episode 1. But yeah, that's it for me in the Owl House. Things that have happened in the world. We've had 2 weird things. One of them is that a full-body prosthetic of Sylvester Stallone has surfaced in New South Wales in an antique shop.
What the fuck? No, what? What does that mean? What do you mean surface? So it existed, went missing, and it's been found again, or...?
Yeah, so apparently there were a few of these made, and one of them has just wormed its way into an antique shop. People didn't know where it was. There was allegedly a Wesley Snipes one as well, but that just never showed up again. They made 2 of them for Demolition Man for when they were cryogenically frozen. So this is basically a big old nude Sylvester Stallone rubber model, and it can be yours for $3,500.
I mean, I would certainly consider that an antique because, weirdly enough, I know a weird thing about Philadelphia is their art museum has the statue from Rocky Balboa because they gave it away to the local football stadium, and then people kept turning up at the museum going, "Where's the Rocky statue?" And they went, "It's not art, so we don't have it." So everyone went, "Oh, fuck you guys then." So I'm willing to believe that this movie prop is indeed an antique.
Another thing is, this thing happened in 2005, but it's only recently been admitted to and revealed. There was a Janet Jackson song called Rhythm Nation that would crash laptops, and not just the laptop that it was playing on, it would crash nearby laptops.
Was there a certain frequency or something being played?
Yeah, so one of the frequencies was the resonant frequency of hard drives.
That's an odd thing to happen.
So it would make hard drives wiggle, and it would crash anything that was running on a rotary hard drive, which back then was pretty much everything, which is mystifying to me. The way that they've got around it now is they just filter out that one frequency.
That's so bizarre.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to come across that when I was looking for things that have happened in the wide world, because it happened nearly 20 years ago, but it's only just been recently admitted to by Microsoft. And the last thing that's happened is that this blindsided me because I enjoy both of these games. Nippon Ichi Software has released a 3rd double pack on the Nintendo Switch and Steam of Rhapsody, A Musical Adventure, and La Pucelle Tactics. These are both prequels to Disgaea, essentially.
I just want to point out that in Steam, it's not a double pack.
Is it not a double pack in Steam?
In Steam, you've got to buy both separately, because I too had this email from Steam saying, look, a developer you follow has released 2 things, and I'm like, yay, 17 quid each. No!
Oh boy. I must admit, I paid more than that for La Pucelle when it was new.
Yeah, no, I get that, but you gotta bear in mind, I'm stingy.
It was one of those, when Disgaea was new and it became such a cult classic, cult hit, you couldn't find it in the UK, so publishers scrambled to get anything that they could to fill the void before Disgaea 2 came out and before they got the go-ahead to reprint Disgaea 1. And one of the options was, Rhapsody was never released over here and La Pucelle was never released over here. They released La Pucelle after Disgaea as a full-price release, and people gladly paid it, including me.
Well, that's fine. I wouldn't have even had a console when that came out, I doubt.
That was PS2, but yeah.
Okay, PS2, in which case I might have had the console 3 years later.
Yeah.
You gotta bear in mind, I didn't get new consoles as a kid.
Well, yeah, this was basically probably about the time that you would have had one, because when I had a PS2, it was a few years after it was new. But yeah, those were fun games.
Buy them, support NIS.
Yeah, I encourage anybody who is even remotely interested to try them out. But yeah, that's enough from me. How have you been and how has your week been?
Well, Rick, much like you, I ain't done much, so I've got a bunch of news stories. But before I will dip into the things I have done very briefly. I did the new FF14 raid tier.
Oh, yes, I have seen... Oh, no, not the raid tier that I've seen. Yeah. This is Asplodios level 2, is it? Is it Abyssos?
Yes, it's Abyssos.
Abyssos.
The bosses are a lot more fun, and I'll tell you this, I did not have as much issue with any of the bosses this tier than I did the last tier. By the way, I'm talking normal, not savage. I'm not a maniac.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, the last set of bosses, I did them all day 2-ish. Definitely week 1, much like with Abyssos. And, well, let's be real. Phoenix and the crocodile creature kicked people's asses because people weren't entirely sure what to do.
Oh, yeah, like a lot of these things, you try to brute force a mechanic, but sometimes the healer can't brute force it on your behalf.
Yeah, well, I'm a healer, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that extra pressure because when a healer goes down, if the other healer doesn't get them up immediately, they usually struggle. But yeah, somewhat in the wide world. Rick, this is not a wrestling podcast.
Oh, no.
Tomorrow, as of recording, but would have gone by the time this is out, WWE's premium live event in the UK, Clash at the Castle, is going down.
Okay.
I am so annoyed.
Oh?
No one could have predicted how much WWE has changed over the last month and a half since Vince McMahon has pissed off.
Oh, okay.
To quote Matthew from Botchamania, not the Matthew we know. Oh, bollocks, I didn't buy tickets to this because it was shit when it was announced. Oh well. Also, tickets cost like 300 quid even in the gods, which is expensive by anyone's measure. But
yes.
If I knew things were gonna turn up, for lack of a better word, between it being announced and the event happening, I would have fucking booked tickets. Because my god, I don't want to give Triple H and crew too much credit, but fuck if they turned that product around.
On behalf of everyone that enjoys it, good.
Yeah. Now there is legitimate reason to watch both WWE and AEW. Alright, on to the news. I discovered a new Christian group.
Oh?
Christians Against Dinosaurs.
I'm just imagining Reverend Lovejoy going to war against an actual velociraptor.
That's great. I just stumbled upon this while browsing Reddit, and someone, this is where it gets a bit cringe, quote unquote, infiltrated the group to share some of their memes, and it's ridiculous. They don't believe dinosaurs ever existed, and they're just, I don't understand it, Rick.
No, we can't. We're not built to.
Oh, Christians Against Dinosaurs. I just thought I'd bring that to light because I fucking laughed.
Yeah.
In a slightly weird bit of news, fucking Gorbachev died.
Yeah, I was staying clear of this because, you could twist it to be political, but yeah, it is just a fact. He's the guy that ended the USSR, isn't he?
Pretty much, yes. I don't want to get political, I just want to bring attention to it because when I heard that news, I was like, we learnt about him in history class and they spoke about him in such a way, I thought he was already dead.
Oh yeah, whenever he was talked about before this week, he was talked about in the past tense.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, I too was kind of mystified that he was still around.
Well, they said Gorbachev had passed, and I went, oh, well, not that fucking Gorbachev. And then, that Gorbachev. And it's like, what? Teachers failed me.
Yeah, he was like 1,000.
Gee, like, Anyway, Ricky, ready for a Not the Onion article?
Yeah, let's go.
J.K. Rowling's new book.
Oh?
It involves a character who is being harassed online for transphobic artwork they did. And this is totally not an analogy for stuff that J.K. Rowling went through. Oh, no. This is totally made up and imaginary.
Made up and imaginary. How is anybody meant to sympathise with that character? Like, okay, you can sympathise with her other characters because they were written in a vacuum and they didn't say transphobic things.
Rick, this character was a comic book writer, and their comic was about a character named Harty.
Harty.
Yeah, not Harry, Harty.
Harty Pooter.
Apparently it's a murder mystery. I'm not going to fucking read it. I don't really think J.K. Rowling is that good of a writer. Like, she's... Okay, that's a bit unfair. I think she's okay as far... Not okay. She's good as far as plot and story goes, but her prose is not the best.
She's a good children's writer.
Yeah, but it's not even children's, is it? It's young adult, which is more teenager.
Yeah, so the point of Harry Potter was that because the characters aged, so too were meant to be the fans. So that basically the idea was if you picked this up at day one, you aged with the character and also you basically grew into the more mature books as they were written. However, the style didn't change that much. So the idea was, yeah, the first couple were a lot easier to read if you were not as, proficient, and the later ones were all door stoppers. I don't know. I don't know if she can really pull off mass market adult writing.
Well, let's put it this way, Rick. When she initially released her first volume of this murder mystery series, she did it under a pseudonym. And funny enough, people weren't really interested until she revealed that, oh, actually, that's me. So take that for what you will.
Yeah, like, she leveraged her star power because she wanted the money. She didn't need the money, she just wanted it.
But just to get slightly serious on the topic, like this novel, again, I've only read a brief outline on the news article because I'm not fucking deep diving in this. I've got better things to do with my time. The character ends up getting brutally murdered because it's a murder mystery, and for some context, Rick, you and I have both gone on record as this. I don't agree with a lot of things J.K. Rowling said, but can you stop sending the woman death threats?
Oh, yeah. Like, don't send death threats to any creators.
Or anyone, full stop, really.
No. Like, if someone is involved with a thing you don't like, it's a reflection on you if you can't control your emotions about it.
It's hard to get people on your side when you're being a dick yourself. But yeah, let's speak on... Oh, let's do the other bit of bad news so I can end on a bit of a highlight. Rick, Boris Johnson had an interview yesterday.
Did he now?
Yeah. Don't worry about the fact that energy bills are probably going to be about $7,000 a year going forward. Just buy a new kettle so you can save that tenner.
Oh, God.
I'm not even joking. This guy said, and I quote, let's see. If you have an old kettle that takes a while to boil, why not buy a new kettle and save yourself tenner a month? Not tenner a month, tenner a year. Tenner's really going to do good against a $7,000 fucking energy bill, innit?
Yep.
What a absolute disconnect from reality. Like me and you don't like the fucking Tories anyway, but Boris Johnson is a fucking prick.
Yeah. Man, we've even got someone who lives near us who they've discussed living at each other's houses over Christmas just so they're only paying one set of energy bills over Christmas.
I've always been stingy when it comes to heating anyway. I don't turn the heating on. I wrap myself up in duvets and covers.
Yeah, ditto.
But for an old person, that's not necessarily always going to help.
Yeah, because the older you get and the more your extremities shut down, the less heat you produce and the less useful a blanket's going to be.
It's not great, and it's odd as well because you think the Tories would want the old people to survive because it's most of their fucking voter base.
Yeah, they want to make the old people happy and make them feel valued as vote cows.
Don't worry, old person, we're gonna take away your pension, but don't worry, we'll make sure that black person don't go near you.
Oh yeah. Oh, and we'll give it to that guy in Tunbridge Wells who needs a bit of landscape gardening doing.
Our government sucks, so America, if you're feeling bad, just look at us for a little bit. It's about time you had something to chuckle over.
Yep.
Yeah, let's end on a high note. Rick, Legendary Entertainment, do you know of them?
Top of my head, no, but if you say something, then I probably do.
Well, they're planning to move away from Warner Bros. Entertainment.
Okay.
Why do I care about this? Because Godzilla. They're in charge of the basically the MonsterVerse, for lack of a better word. They're currently filming Kong vs. Zilla 2, which I don't know if that's the way I'd go with it, but whatever.
Yeah, I think both of those deserve solo films again, rather than just chucking them together.
Well, apparently the working synopsis is some terror from underground is going to surface, forcing Kong and Zilla to team up once more, which sounds like a really shit premise, but at the same time, I kind of want to see it.
Yep. Kongzilla versus Satan.
Well, they say underground, so my theory straight goes to Megalon, but I don't think Megalon is that popular of a kaiju to pit against both Zilla and Kong.
Just rip the band-aid off and make it literally Satan.
Well, they got that. That's Destroyer.
Okay.
I want a fucking kudos for my flawless pronunciation.
Destroyer!
Yeah, there's a fucking O in it in that weird spot as well, so it is Destroyer instead of Destroyer. It's so dumb. But yeah, that's it for the week's news and what's been going on. I know it was a bit loose, or light, I should say, on the personal fronts, but I think we had a good crack at some of the news stories. Rick, what are we doing today?
Today we're doing Dexter's Lab. We're going to the bank of classic animation. So yeah, this was on the Cartoon Network in the 90s, and if you've not seen it, it's a treat. If you want to join along with us at home, it's 3, 2, 1, and go.
It's season 1, episode 1, but it's technically 3 episodes. But the middle episode is the weird sort of you know how we had I Am Weasel for Cow and Chicken.
Yes.
Yeah, so Super Monkey was pretty much that, but for Dexter's Lab. That being said, isn't it weird hearing the Dexter's Lab theme without the over the top stupid fucking singing?
Yeah. The doom and boom and things, doom and gloom and things go boom.
In Dexter's Lab! And all that shite.
Yeah.
Now, I do have a fun fact about Dee Dee.
Yeah?
She was one of the fucking reasons why my sister was such an arsehole when she was younger.
Oh, because she saw Dee Dee be an arsehole and get away with it.
Not that, no, but better than that. Well, Dee Dee was part of it. There was there was other characters as well, but Dee Dee was one of the ones I remember. And that is... I was on a shopping trip with the parents, as you do, and my sister had control of the trolley, as you do, for some fucking reason, and she kept ramming it in the back of my heels. And at the end of the fucking shopping trip, when I was in the car, I'm like, why are you such a cunt? Except, in child words, because I didn't know those words. And she was like, I'm your younger sister, it's my job to annoy you. And I'm like, no, it's not!
Oh, man.
And she pointed to shows like this as evidence of said fact.
Yeah, it's not the job, it's... The creator had a younger sister, thought the younger sister was a bit of a bitch, and wrote a character around it.
I forgot Dexter was a ginger.
Yeah, he is.
How many people do you think had a fucking slime fetish because of this episode?
Yeah. Probably not even just this episode. There are so many things that have slimes going on.
I mean...
Getting digested by amoebas.
Yeah, it could be Vor as well.
Hmm.
But yeah, that being said, I think you and I have had the discussion off podcast, maybe on podcast as well. You can probably point to many a child's show as to why you got some sort of weird fucked up fetish. Like, Totally Spies was the worst for it.
Oh, yeah, there was that fucking chart, didn't I share that with you a couple of weeks ago? The chart of listing every single episode alongside every fetish that shows up in it.
You got to bear in mind, like, bondage was in every single episode of Totally Spies.
Oh, yeah. Like, can you even say latex is even a fetish at that point where they just wear those suits all the time?
Yeah. Because you're a cunt.
Yeah, sorry, just listening to the actual plot.
Not really much going on is the thing. Oh, the bird's dead.
Oh, Dee Dee talking to Dee Dee.
Einstein's ghost is a great expression.
Hmm.
How long was it not until like later seasons that Mandark showed up and was crushing hard on Dee Dee?
I think he shows up pretty early on, but it's only later on that he starts crushing.
Maybe so. Do you remember Action Hank?
No.
He's the big buff black burly dude with the big manly beard. That Dexter likes watching TV shows of.
Okay. So here's the thing. I only ever caught bits of Dexter's Lab.
Oh.
Because I didn't have Cartoon Network when I was growing up.
Oh, fair enough.
By the time I did have Cartoon Network, it was the Cell Saga, and this was already vintage by then.
That makes sense. Yeah, there's a great episode where... I'm surprised you've not seen it, or at least memes of it, where Dexter artificially grows a massive beard to rival Action Hank's, and he teams up with him. And Action Hank is like, "Oh, you got a great beard, little dude." It's like, and Dexter pulls his heart out and says, "It's not real." And Hank's like, "It's not the size of the beard on your chin, but the size of the beard on your heart."
Oh.
Yeah, and then they kill some My Little Ponies. Because the My Little Ponies are a bigger threat than Action Hank.
Okay.
I believe they're cannibals. It was a really weird fucking episode. So much so, I'm actually debating whether or not it was a fever dream. We're gonna have the classic problem of of trying to fix the problem is what causes the problem, I believe.
So it would seem. And then we get a cavalcade of DDs going back in time to fix it.
Yeah. We're going to talk about how that creature is basically just a roper but made out of slime.
Oh, yeah. Man, those are just actual nightmare fuel if you play them seriously and at a low enough level.
Yeah, the only time I've used one is against you as a party of two, but you two were way higher level for it.
Yeah.
I also gave you a bunch of NPCs back up.
Oh, yeah, the NPCs were basically there just to get eaten in the meantime. But yeah, we were like level 7, and the Ropers were like CR5.
Yeah, something like that.
You put it against a party of level 3s, and someone's going to die.
Well, at the moment, I've got the big Storm King group. It's up against Dow, and even now, I'm like... I think just from numbers alone that you guys can take it quite easily.
Yeah. Action economy is king.
But the problem is if I put even one additional creature in with the Dow, it makes it that much more intimidating. Not intimidating, more of a mountain to climb.
Yeah. Didn't you summon the other thing at the bottom?
That's a Dow ability anyway. So I assume that's factored into the CR. Like, the Dow can just summon an Earth Elemental. Which, I didn't actually tell you guys what that is, so slight spoiler, I guess.
I like how there's the Marilith ability can summon an additional Marilith. And the additional Marilith also has that ability.
That's bollocks, though, isn't it? Unless it's like challenge rating for 2.
Oh, no, it's a colossal challenge rating, and the fact that it can summon more of itself is built into it.
Ugh.
Dial M for monkey.
Now, I do happen to know that the guy who is a guest voice on this particular episode is Ray Romano's brother in Everybody Loves Raymond.
Okay.
Which, if you've ever watched that show, he's got quite the distinctive voice.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. I can picture it, yeah.
Is this racist?
If it's not real words, then probably no.
Okay. Oh, good old city life.
Oh, yeah. Triceratops underneath the city.
He'll be oil soon. This creature is apparently played by Ray brother.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah, you can certainly hear it, even with the obvious modifier put on it. Oh, he's reading Garfield.
What a wholesome guy.
Alright, to be fair, that's on that dude if he gets fucked, because the moment you see some sort of weird goo bubbling up from underneath concrete, you should be like...
Onto your shoe.
Yeah, your first reaction should be, I should probably move.
It's just Miss Hoover, the floor is shaking all over again, isn't it?
Oh, no. Isn't it fucking amazing that this is a cartoon from the 90s, and it's still fucking hitting the nail on the head when it comes to fucking modern problems?
It's still relevant. The only thing missing is smartphones.
Well, yeah, but those definitely weren't around.
No.
Quickly, someone call the Powerpuff Girls.
But the classic ones, not the ones from, 2012.
I refuse to acknowledge that reboot. Are they still making the live-action film?
I don't know.
So I remember that was a fucking hubbub for a while, but then everyone just kind of shut up about it.
Was it actually going to be live action, or was it going to be one of those hybrid things where most people were live action, but the girls were CGI?
I couldn't tell you, Rick. I kind of stopped reading at the headline of live action Powerpuff Girls because it sounded like a bad idea.
Yeah, because they're either going to have kids who are, let's be honest, even a good child actor is not a fantastic actor.
I think the only child actor I've seen... Okay, the Harry Potter Core 4, which is, the main trio and Draco, they all did fairly well acting-wise, especially when they evolved into adult actors. Actors who are adults, not actors in porn. But I think the most recent example I can think of off the top of my head is probably Macy Williams.
Sure, yeah.
But that being said, there was and the guy who played Joffrey, but he didn't want to act for a living, which is a shame because he was pretty good.
Yeah, the fact that you got death threats for acting the role proficiently should tell you how good he was at that role.
Yeah, but I still can't believe we live in a day and age where people can't distinguish reality from fiction.
Yep.
It's baffling.
In case you didn't get the message during the preamble, do not send death threats to creators.
Don't send death threats to anyone. Alright, listen, if Joffrey was a real person, I could understand wanting to get rid of him. However, he fucking ain't.
And also, he died.
Game of Thrones is not a documentary.
No. Well, it's like, what was it? The Flintstones is not historical.
Carl!
It's a historical documentary.
I'm convinced that the Flintstones is the reason why so many people think dinosaurs and humans coexisted.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's not just the Flintstones, but yes. It's like stuff like 65 million BC, all that shit.
Hey, do you remember dinosaurs?
Yes, but many things were called that.
The one where it was a bunch of people in latex suits doing a family sitcom.
Oh, I love that show.
They had the baby that went, not the mama.
Yep.
That's on Disney Plus, by the way. We could totally do a review on it.
Yeah, we can. Did you see the finale of that?
Oh, yeah, funny enough, we've been fucking with nature too much, so the world's going extinct.
Yep.
Yeah. That's not prevalent today, is it?
Yeah, everyone that was, working for the...
Big oil.
Yeah, basically for big oil. And they were all climate deniers. And anyone who was smart was legitimately scared, and then the world ended.
I mean, me and you... Well, I don't know if you've been saying it, but I constantly bring it up as a joke of, the water wars are coming. Give it 20 years.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing with water. The water cycle is a thing.
But we're fucking with it.
Yeah. But even then, water doesn't get used up. We just use clean water, and then it goes back into the cycle.
Yeah, but the problem is we're contaminating it.
Yeah.
You can't drink water in Flint still. You have to buy bottled water. I'm laughing because I can't believe how fucking outrageous that is.
Yeah. Well, then again, I live in Yorkshire where you can just drink the rainwater.
Jesus, even down here in the south, it's always a joke of, water's got, chalk in it. Or something. People scoff at me when I say I don't like drinking water because it tastes funny, and they're like, water doesn't taste, and I'm like, yeah, I know it's not meant to.
Yeah, yeah.
If you drink it from the tap down here, you're gonna fucking taste it. Oh, it's got like fucking clouds in it. I cannot overstate how shit our water quality is down here. It's alright for tea, because you boil that shit.
But even if you do, then you get... You fuck up your kettle.
Yo, that's kind of fucked up doing that without consent.
Yep, it is.
Oh, right, yeah, I forgot. The internet is so horny for Dexter's mum.
Oh, yes.
And I don't really get it, because in her original art style, she's not all that. But people draw her in other art styles, and she is fucking... Yeah, I get it. Certified MILF. Oh, maybe not.
Man, her eye looked like a pizza.
Nothing's wrong. Your dad just came in her eye last night. Oh, what is wrong with me?
Yeah, I think the technical term for that is X.O.
Go on.
You know, like you got the facial expressions written in text of like O.O. I'm
okay.
surprised. X.O is I am surprised and one of my eyes is closed for some reason.
Okay.
The implication that someone came in it.
Oh, no. Man, I know people the same age as me who don't know how to do chores. Oh. Like, I'm what I would describe as a somewhat messy fucker. But I...
know how to use a vacuum.
Yeah. I have to use a vacuum because I've got so much fucking hair, I like malt.
Yeah, it's just like using the lawnmower just on your carpet.
I blew my mum's mind the other day because I said, hey, have we got a duster somewhere? Because I'm noticing some cobwebs and I want to get rid of them. This is a great fucking example of textbook knowledge, but no streetwise.
Oh, yeah, yeah. 99 int, 1 whiz.
Oh, that's even better. Handful of mud. What? Oh, she's making mud pies. Well, at least it's not a cream pie. Hey-oh!
Hey, hey. Mississippi mud pie.
That sounds like the most disgusting term ever for anal. Mind you, like, I remember one time looking up the you remember when you just browse Urban Dictionary for shits and grins and then you stumble across something truly horrifying that you're like, that can't be real?
Yeah, like the Cleveland steamer.
Oh, it might be the same thing I'm thinking of the Alabama Hot Pocket. But yeah, we'll not...
Oh, radioactive green worms, as if they'd have lived through the oven.
I mean, they live through radioactivity.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like... oh, fuck, you know those little, like, bear bug things? They're not bugs, but, you know, they're, like, microscopic.
Oh, yeah, the water bears, yeah, the
things that are... Why the fuck is he so buff all of a sudden?
He's buff and he's becoming Iron Man.
Fuck, well, I believe he's making a robot. He's making a sex robot, which is disturbing because it's going to look like his mother. But yeah, you got the word right. I'm not going to dare try and pronounce it.
Yeah, tardigrades.
Yeah. They found something that could kill it.
Oh?
Yeah, because scientists are some warped motherfuckers. Turns out, if you put one in a gun and shoot it, they can't survive speeds of 200 miles per hour.
Okay.
Because again, scientists are sadistic fucks.
That's a really small thing to try and shoot out of a gun, though.
Okay, but yeah, just technically not indestructible is the takeaway, rather than, you know.
Right, yeah.
They probably didn't actually fire them out a gun. They probably put them in a thing and launched the thing at X miles an hour, and it's like, oh, by the way, that's how fast a gunshot is, you know?
Yeah, or try to centrifuge it or something.
Yeah. Oh, he's got asthma. That makes sense.
Yeah, so that's going to be the takeaway of if you have asthma, maybe contribute to having less dust.
Yeah. Do your chores, bitch. Oh, never mind. It's DD being a prick again.
Yeah, Dee Dee's controlling Robo-Mom.
Why it'll never not be funny having a bra on your head. But then again, you got to bear in mind that had to have been his mother's, because there's no way it's Dee Dee's.
Yep.
Oh no, the fish!
You can tell it's a reasonably sized bra, because both cups go on one head.
True. Dude, it's one of my favourite jokes, even though it's immature as fuck, from Little Nicky. Have you seen that film?
A long time ago, but yes.
Yeah, where he punishes that dude by putting boobs on his head.
Yeah, and he puts a bra on it.
Yeah. And Rodney Dangerfield gets really turned on by it.
I also remember the bit where he goes, "This Coke tastes like Pepsi."
It's such a stupid joke. I love it. It's probably the last Adam Sandler film I watched and truly enjoyed. Oh shit, he made a new one real quick.
Oh yeah?
This is just like advanced Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Yep.
Oh, it really? Fuck.
Literally as well.
Alright, Rick, I'm going to ask, which one do you want to fuck? I prefer the one with actual legs, if I'm being real.
Yeah, ditto. I'm going to go with the green one.
Yeah.
It has more of a face. Like, the white one, yeah, it might be more advanced, but she's got less of a face going on.
Right, the green one is more humanoid and you can fuck in many ways. However, the white one gives the perfect beach every time.
If your cock is shaped like a cartridge.
For the sake of argument, let's just say they can make an O face.
And not that you're required to have an NES cartridge for a knob.
Do you know what the weird thing is I have I'm not going to say the relation because that will narrow it down too much, but I have a relative who looks a lot like Dexter's dad.
I think a lot of people do, actually. He's
really good. It's a really good generic dad figure.
Yeah.
I love how he's so tired from work, or just so easy to roll with things, that he's like, fuck it, 3 wives. So the implication is Dexter has robot parts.
Yeah. He seems to have upgraded himself. Oh, there we are. Here we have the...
Yes!
The vocal version.
That sounds like Aku.
It does.
Lives the smartest boy in history. Fucking wrong words. Don't you love that when the fucking...
Smithereens.
Don't you love it when the guy sings the song wrong?
Yep.
In Dexter's lap. It's fucking iconic, man.
Yeah, 1996.
Jesus, Hanna-Barbera as well, back when they made good shit.
Yeah. Man, I love the word smithereens, by the way.
It doesn't get used often enough.
No.
But yeah, Rick, that was the very first episode, allegedly, of Dexter's Laboratory. What did you think?
It was a good one. So, we did talk a lot over it because, you know, the what was happening didn't require that much commentary because it played out pretty much as you would expect, but the setup was pretty much all you needed and it was all well animated and done well. How about you? What do you think?
I mean, one of the most fun things about watching this is it was pretty much non-stop. Hey, do you remember this? Do you remember that? Oh, this, then boom, boom, bing, bing. Which is one of the good things of watching these cartoons, especially from your childhood.
Yeah, rather than when someone tries to reboot it and they literally ask the question of, do you remember this? Ooh.
Yeah, pretty much, man, pretty much. It was a good trip.
Yeah.
I don't remember these episodes, however, I'm pretty sure that slime tentacle monster shows up multiple times.
Yeah.
It's like the Mr. Blobby of Dexter's world.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure we're both in the camp of enjoying it, which will make this next part a treat, I imagine. Rick, favourite moment?
I think it was the ending of the first mini-episode of sending 2 DDs back, and it just annoys Dexter even more, and you know that it's just going to go up. The same thing's going to happen again. Like, a lot of these episodes end with, oh yes, the same thing is going to happen all over again because nothing has changed, and that's part of the comedy of Dexter's Lab.
Yeah, I get you. Do you ever think that people who are really into Rick and Morty were really into Dexter and were like, I'm Dexter, I'm too smart for this world. And,
yes.
and do you not reckon that maybe because the internet wasn't a thing, they weren't so fucking annoying about it because they just get beat up on the playground?
Oh, yeah. It was 1995. If you had the internet, you were too much of a nerd back then. But yeah, how about you? What was your favourite moment?
My favourite moment was also at the end of an episode, specifically the final one, with Dad just going, "Hello, honey. Hello, Dexter. Hello, Dee Dee. Hello, honey." Slight pause. "Hello, honey."
Yeah.
Being so oblivious must be fun sometimes.
Yep.
But yes, unfortunately, we can't only talk about the good. We do have to dwell a little bit on the bad. Rick, do you have a weakest link for me?
I think the weakest link is, maybe it's not super fair, but I would say that the parenting, that they weren't able to either foster Dexter's creativity in a positive way that didn't require him to build an entire laboratory on his own, or slap the shit out of Dee Dee for being a little bitch. Like,
that's bad parenting. You can't hit kids.
Okay, you know what I mean, though. Like,
I do know what you mean, Rick. I was also born in the 90s, where things weren't quite so loosey-goosey.
Yeah, I was also born when you slapped a kid and they stopped being a little shit.
My favourite one, which I'm sure you also experienced, was stop crying or I'll give you something to cry about.
Yeah.
Oh, man, our childhoods were awesome, weren't they?
Yeah. So what they're going to do, they're going to smash a plate over your head. Okay. So how about you? What was your weakest link?
It's hard to say, really, actually, to be fair. Because, like, the animation, while not up to today's standards, certainly, definitely hasn't aged poorly.
Oh, totally. Like, it wasn't even crude. It was just...
old.
Stylized.
Yeah.
Like, it was simply stylized, and that's not a bad thing. When you are working with let's say, a limited budget, if you have style, it's going to show through.
Well, yeah, there you go. There's the weakest link, is that it demonstrates how modern-day cartoons and animations relying on, I don't know, let's pick a random style. 3D, doesn't age quite as well as stuff that is lovingly drawn, but potentially might not look good compared to something in the time. Like, I'm sure people's minds were blown by Code Lyoko, but Code Lyoko looks like shit now.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you rely solely on the cutting edge technology, it will bite you in the arse because you will have no rewatchability in the future. And then you got stuff like Toy Story that did use cutting edge, but used it well.
Yeah. So, like, Toy Story did it right, in my opinion, because they knew the limitations of it and they leaned into it. Like, we can only make simple shapes, so we're gonna make something about simple shaped thing, i.e. toys.
Yeah. Also, Barbie's not in Toy Story 1 because Barbie thought the film would flop, and then they had to beg to be let in Toy Story 2.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know about you, Rick, but if I was a Pixar exec, I would have been such a petty bitch about it.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, we can laugh at Barbie all day, every day, but it probably won't get us very far. So, Rick, let's get to our crowning glory of our wrap-up. And, who is your MVP?
My MVP is Genndy Tartakovsky. He's the creator and he's the visionary behind the sheer heart that went into this. He's also created things such as Samurai Jack, the original Clone Wars cartoon.
I'm sorry.
Hotel Transylvania.
He made Samurai Jack the best cartoon in living memory.
Yeah.
Jeez, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And yeah, he collaborated with Craig McCracken. You might have seen him in the credits for these things. But yeah, how about you? Who was your MVP?
I'm going to give it to Dexter.
You can't have Dexter's Lab without Dexter.
Yeah, pretty much, man. Like, the first episode, yeah, he instigated the plot. The second episode, he created Super Monkey, so who's the real winner?
Yeah.
I do love the running gag of Super Monkey never showing Dexter that he is Super Monkey, just thinking he's a failure.
Yep.
And, of course, the final episode where we get to see that Dexter's mum is a Milf, and then Dexter makes 2 additional Milfs. We can't get behind that.
Rock'em sock'em between his additional Milfs, yeah.
Oh, Jesus. But yeah, that was Dexter's Lab, a classic. If you don't like Dexter's Lab, what the fuck's wrong with you? Nah, I'm kidding. It's not to everyone's taste, for sure, but it's one of those cartoons where if you like animation, highly recommend going back and at least watching some of it.
Yeah.
If you liked what you saw and you're watching on YouTube, we do have the comment section down below. Feel free to let us know your thoughts as well as suggestions for future episodes. But of course, we're not only on YouTube, we also have many audio versions of the show. And yeah, if you're listening via one of those, you can instead send us an email. Where to send email to, Rick?
nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com. Once again, that is nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com.
Yes. Still sitting at a perfect 0 fan interaction on the email front, so that's fun. But yeah, not much else to say, guys, other than keep yourself safe and keep yourselves happy. Yeah, join us next week.
Bye.